All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising secrets behind America's wealthy, all based on the amazing research in the book, The Millionaire Next Door. Okay, let's just dive right in. When you picture a millionaire, you probably imagine the person on the left, right? High income, spending a ton, living that flashy luxury life. But the research, it tells a completely different story. The truly wealthy are way more likely to be these quiet accumulators you see on the right. They're masters of building wealth behind the scenes.
And that leads us right to the big question of this whole explainer. Who are the real millionaires in America? I'm telling you, the answer might just change how you think about money forever.
So, let's get into the first and honestly the biggest discovery from the book. Most of us have got it completely backwards. We're always confusing income with wealth, but they are not at all the same thing. And here's the absolute key takeaway. Wealth isn't about the size of your paycheck. Not really. It's about your net worth, what you manage to build up over time through discipline and smart planning. It's the money that's working for you, not the money you're working just to spend. Okay, so what's super interesting is that the book doesn't just talk about this stuff. It actually gives us a formula to measure our own progress. Think of it like a quick financial checkup.
It's actually pretty simple. You take your age, you multiply that by your annual pre-tax income from all sources, and then you just divide the whole thing by 10. According to all the research, that number is what your net worth should be for someone in your age and income bracket.
So go ahead, you can even pause and do the math. How do you stack up? Because the answer is this powerful reality check, and it sorts you into one of two very different groups. See, this little formula is what separates the PAWs from the UAWs. PAWs stands for Prodigious Accumulator of Wealth. These are the rock stars of wealth building. They're in the top 25% and are often worth double what the formula says they should be. Then you have the UAWs, or Under-Accumulators of Wealth, who might make a lot of money but have less than half of their expected net worth.
So what's the real difference between a PAW and a UAW?
Well, it boils down to how they play the game of money. It's all about offense versus defense. Earning a big salary, that's great offense, but that's only half the story. But here's the secret sauce. Millionaires are absolute masters of defense. They are incredible at being frugal, at budgeting, at controlling every dollar. And that, right there, is the foundation for building real wealth, no matter how much you make. I mean, seriously, if you had to describe the lifestyle of the truly wealthy in just 3 words, the research says it's this. And let's be clear, this isn't about being cheap. It's about being resourceful and intentional with your money. And this is where it gets really interesting. Let's look at the actual data. You think millionaires are dropping thousands on suits? No way. The reality is, half of them, half, have never spent more than $400 on a suit. A full quarter of them have never even broken $300. It's all about value, not designer labels.
And cars, same story. Take a look. An incredibly small number of millionaires, we're talking less than a quarter, drive a brand new current year car. And foreign luxury cars, even fewer. Leasing, almost never. Why? Because they get it. A car is an expense, a tool that loses value, not a status symbol. You see the pattern here, right? They got to be millionaires by budgeting and controlling their expenses, and they stay millionaires the exact same way. It's just a consistent, disciplined habit. It's like a pro athlete staying in top shape even in the off-season. Okay, but wait a minute. If these high-income UAWs are spending so much, how in the world are they affording it? Well, this leads us to this really fascinating kind of hidden trap that keeps so many people from ever building wealth. The authors call it economic outpatient care, or EOC for short. Think of it like this. It's basically ongoing financial support that well-off parents give to their adult kids to help prop up their lifestyle. Things like a down payment on a house or paying for the grandkids' private school. And this isn't some rare thing. The research found that nearly half, 46% of affluent parents, are regularly giving this kind of support. But this help, even though it comes from a good place, has a really damaging unintended consequence. But here's the crazy paradox the book uncovered. It turns out there's a clear inverse relationship. The more money adult children get from their parents, the less wealth they actually build for themselves. It just creates this cycle of dependency. So why does this happen? Well, it's because this EOC basically lets them live a lifestyle they haven't actually earned and can't afford on their own. It pushes them to consume more instead of saving and investing, and it stops them from ever learning the habits of budgeting and planning that create real, lasting wealth. All right, so after all that, how do you actually get on the right path, the PA path?
Well, the book lays out a really clear playbook, and it's all based on the actual habits of self-made millionaires.
Okay, here it is. The playbook for becoming a PA. And it's not rocket science. It all starts with living well below your means. From there, you've got to budget everything, meticulously. You have to make financial independence more important than showing off social status. And you've got to be investing, consistently. You see? These aren't secrets. They're choices.
And if you're thinking, oh, that's not for me, you have to remember this. This might be the most incredible finding in the whole book. A full 80% of millionaires in America are first-generation rich. They didn't inherit it. They are regular people who got wealthy in one single generation just by following these principles.
So at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple question you have to ask yourself, and your answer will tell you exactly which path you're on.